Good. We are happy to be here with you. We are starting now, and thank you for making time. I know we have tried to have this meeting before, and it has taken a little bit of time, but I'm happy that we finally made it today, although it was made for Sunday. Technical issues we understand on the ground is not that easy, but I'm so happy to have
to be here with you. We are
I'm
starting
happy
now,
to have my guest here. Sorry about that. Yeah, that shows that we are live now. That's on YouTube as well. That's our channel. So it's also aired there live to make sure that we get all the attention here. We have a very few people here in the meeting room, but most of it will be rebroadcasted on YouTube on the Africa Women in Trade. As just to get you started, my name is Joy Sense, and today I'm very, very excited because it's about signing another MOU. How great is that? We are so excited for this one. And name and Madam Ruth Nengash, we have been trying to have this meeting already last month, and very busy in your network, and I can understand. And some of you are wondering more what it is about. Yes, today we're gonna be talking about what does it mean, the MOU between Africa Women in Trade and a Federation of Women in Business and a COMESA. So we are looking forward to that. And the MOU has been such an exciting time because we wanted to make sure that we are connected and not reinventing the wheel. How do I say that? So today it will be more introduction of who we are, African Women in Europe. Some of you who haven't known us, but I think most of members here are African Women in Trade members. They'll be listening to this now. They're also on live streamed on YouTube as well. And knowing that we women, we have very strong pillars, 4 pillars, just to give you an overview. And our first pillar is giving you information. And this is what it is about also today, what is going around that you know about. There's an organization that you can also benefit from as African women in trade. And also we also have the other pillar. The second pillar is to create market access for our members. Our members have great products. We need to know how they can access these products as well. And then the other one is about financial support. We understand when you want to grow and go into trade, you need finance. So these will be coming out very handy as well on our platform. We have had some already businesses that have already succeeded in that, and also through grants as well. We also link up through information. We share what is going on so that you can take advantage. We also have the last one, the fourth one, which is the capacity building. And here we partner also with other organizations that are doing that. And I'm sure our MOU here will be part of also those trainings that you can also jump into whenever they have the trainings. So I'm looking forward to that as well, because we'll be sharing with you all what the both organizations will be doing, especially the collaboration that is coming up from now henceforth. So I just wanted to give you an overview, but I don't want to take the stage away because you really need to know about what it is about this MOU we are signing today with COMFWB. It's a very long word, I can tell you, but let's digest it step by step. And Madame Gesha she's gonna tell us step by step what it is about. So the stage is all yours, and thank you for making time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. It's been a long overdue that we've been trying to reach the African women in trade and be able to connect. We've discussed for quite long months and aligning what we can do together. So I'm very excited today to present to you what our organization is. And I'm sure as you can hear my presentation, you will see where we align, because all the pillars that we have 4 strategic priorities that are aligned with your 4 pillars as well. And hopefully that the audience and everyone involved will be able to see themselves benefiting from our relationship and signing this MOU. As we take it forward, we are a very practical organization at the grassroots level, and there's many African women involved. So I would like to present to you who we are as COMESA, Federation of Women in Business. I know the acronym is quite awkward to say COMFWB, but you'll get used to it as you get more involved with us. In short, it's COMESA, Federation of Women in Business, which is an institution that looks after the economic growth and business linkages of women in Africa and the 21 member states, linking them with each other, but also across the continent and globally. So this is where we are, and as we start, allow me to start the presentation, and then after I present, I will be ready to answer if you have any comments or questions. And so thank you very much, Madam Joy.
Welcome. Yes, you're looking forward to. Let me know whether you can be able to share from your side.
I think so. Can you see?
Yes, it's coming through.
It's coming through. Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
I think today is a good day, better than the last 2 days that we've tried. All right, fantastic. So I present to you our COMESA, Federation of Women in Business. First, I'll start with our COMESA policies and frameworks. COMESA, this institution was created with the founding fathers of COMESA, member states, knowing that there is a role women can play in the national development economic activities. And so they thought this was so important that they wanted to create an institution that looks after the participation and growth of the private sector of women and young people. So we are housed under the Treaty of COMESA 154, 155. 154 talks about the women in development, and 155 talks about women in business. So this is where we come under the treaty. This provides the directives for effective participation of our women in different sectors. I would have to say almost in every sector, but mainly COMESA countries being an agricultural economies, we are able to work more with women in agriculture and production, value addition, marketing, and also the whole point of trade. And so we prepare them with quality to harvest and do the environmentally friendly but also quality products at the production level when they do their agricultural activity. And then we move into the processing. We try to add the small industries for value addition, but also the larger industries that women work under to standardize the products as they get processed, and also look for markets. So we do market-driven activities instead of just randomly adding value and then try to sell and push through the markets. So as we do these activities, we also partner up with the government institutions, private partners, and development partners, and capacity building of the women, but also do trade exhibitions as we promote their products. And then, of course, we help in job creation and value addition to the local economic and improvement of the socio-economic transformation for sustainable economic growth. For our organization, sustainability is critical. So we work with the women grassroots and the government policies to impact and to influence, to make sure that we have impact on the sustainable economic growth, that women are able to feed themselves, their families, and provide products and job opportunities for their communities. In our charter, in line with the articles and the treaty, it provides directives to develop the entrepreneurship of women through programs and also through economic integration and trade facilitation for the sustainable economic growth of nations, regions, and continents. So yes, we develop in the 21 member states as per our mandates under COMESA, but we sell our products and services beyond COMESA. We're trying to really focus on getting the cross-border trading, cross-border growth and sharing of knowledge, as we have similar problems and similar solutions. So the solutions across the borders tend to be more worth of value. Therefore, the communication across our borders are critical for our women, as about 80% of the cross-border traders are MSMEs, mostly composed of women and young people. So the member states in COMESA are 21. As you could see, this starts with Burundi, Comoros, DR Congo, Djibouti, Egypt, Eritrea, Eswatini, Ethiopia, Kenya, Libya, Madagascar, Malawi, Mauritius, Rwanda, Seychelles, Somalia, Sudan, Tunisia, Uganda, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. So what's the benefit of joining an COMESA membership? The 21 member states have approximately 583 million people. Now they are above 600 million and 2022. And the size is about 11.8 million square kilometers, covering the GDP over 800 billion. Now they're saying that it's reached to 1.3 trillion GDPs. And the fact is that COMESA, of all the RECs around, like SADC and like ECOWAS and EAC, COMESA has 21 member states and is the largest economic body in Africa, constituting about half the continent. The medium-term strategic plan that we validated recently was 21 to 25. In the vision, our vision in that MTSP is to be able to be the leading agency of change that drives economic prosperity for African entrepreneurs. The mission is to develop women entrepreneurship in COMESA through programs that promote economic integration for trade facilitation. And our core values are integrity, unity, equity, excellence, and results-driven. We believe that our institution should be results-driven because end of the day, we can talk and have meetings and seminars, but our African people need products on the ground to be able to feed their families. So we focus on being result-driven and producing products that are valuable for our communities and our nations. Our strategic work plans are based on 4 priorities. The first strategic priority talks about strengthening the COMFWB institutional capacity to make sure that the conditions and capacities for operation are enhanced. What this means is that it's very important women become organized and present and formalized. Without having a formalized institution, it's very difficult to engage with governments for policy advocacy or for financial capacity building, or be able to have the capacity to run business management and also be competitive with products and services. So organizing, we think, is institutional capacity is very important, and that's our first and priority, making sure that the chapters in the member states are have organizational structure, are properly placed in a position where they are capable of organizing women that come, and also creating structures to do programs at the ground level so that women can take advantage of, 1, the existing national programs, 2, any development partners activities like whether it be UN, EU, national NGOs, international NGOs, anything that works with the capacity building of business women. We want to be able to share the information and have the access to be able to be the body that actually implements these programs at the national level. And then at the regional level, we organize and coordinate these activities as members and member states governments tap into COMESA. Strategic priority number 2 is to strengthening the resource mobilization capacity and mobilize technical and financial capacity. We do a lot with our programs. They are very few, but they are impactful. So as we deliver these programs, we want to make sure that the resource mobilization is at the grassroots level, because we can have programs there, but because they are not technically capable, some chapters and institutions are not able to take advantage of them. So we mobilize, we train, sometimes virtually, sometimes in person. We go to the member states and we organize for them to have the capacity to be able to mobilize their resources. Because if you don't have capacity technically or financially, it's quite difficult to engage the people and serve them. So we position ourselves so that we either partner up with organizations like you who have experts and capacity, or with the existing national consultants and contractors and others that can provide the services so that we prepare them to help the women. So we always start with the grassroots problems, and then our job is to source these facilities and be able to serve those problems and bring solutions for them. The strategic priority number 3 talks about strengthening the development programs, implementing and delivering studies. It's very important to do research and find out what's on the ground. So we do a lot of gap analysis, capacity and assessment on the ground as we mobilize the grassroots. We also do baseline surveys to find out what's available, what's required, and then hear and listen to the women so that they tell us the kind of services they need, so that as we design our programs, their responses guide our programming and planning. And then when we deliver, there's a lot of involvement and a value added, because the ownership is there, since the request comes from the grassroots. Also, the programs and studies also engage investors and others who are interested in supporting women's and young people economic agenda. So as they come, they also do influence our papers and proposals and concept notes that we write for each country. Sometimes it's country specific, because there are certain contexts that are only working in a specific nation. Sometimes it's across borders within the region, the sub-region, and then sometimes it's quite big and it covers the whole continent, so we work at it at a secretariat level. And then the strategic priority number 4 is to really enhance the advocacy, public image, and branding of our institution, and also the activities that we do, because some of the policies are restrictive and there is a lot of trade barriers. So by advocating for inclusion of women and youth in the national policies, and to really address the issues that are barriers for them to participate and do their trading activities or business activities, is quite important. And sometimes also, although the policy is there, because of lack of knowledge, the population is not able to know and conduct their businesses accordingly. So they receive a lot of penalties by the necessary bodies, government bodies, or in private bodies for that matter, who are looking after any violation of policies. So we bring them in organizations like cross-border trader associations or business associations, and then we provide a variety of different sensitization programs so they become aware. And sometimes also the activities that our women do, the national public doesn't know about their activities, whether it be bazaars, trade fairs, or any activities we do. So we make sure that we use the national TV, radio, print, online. As you know, in Africa, mostly the newspaper and the radio is still in use, especially radio, because it's used with the local languages. People are able to tune in and listen to what the activities are, whether it be bazaars or trade fairs taking place, so people can come and take advantage of the women's products that are available. And then the branding is being able to brand all our programs and activities through our COMFWB, so people know what are we doing on the ground, how could they benefit from us, and how could they be linked to other businesses and clients. So I'll just go briefly of what happens in each strategic priority. The institutional capacity, we work at the human resource capacity. We work with monthly chapter linkage programs that happens the last Thursday of each month from 3 to 5. Actually, this month is taking place this week on Thursday, due to the fact that we have a bunch of programs scheduled. But it normally happens the last Thursday of the month from 3 to 5 p.m. where different business-to-business chapter linkages happen. Chapters get a chance to present themselves once during that program. Also, different advocacy and access to high-level COMESA institutions and other partners are there. I think at some point we had Madam Joy present African Women in Trade before signing the MOU, due to the fact that our board members and our annual General Assembly, they wanted to know what AWT was about and Madam Joy presented what the activities are, then they were able to be excited about this MOU and allow us to sign this. We also do strengthening of our chapters. At the moment, we have 20 fully registered operational chapters, and they are we're helping them a variety of things. Some of them being able to facilitate elections for executive body leadership, operational guidelines. We support them with technical advisories like writing concept notes, proposals for grants and for business linkages, and preparing themselves for investors. Such activities take place at the chapter level, but also at the grassroots level, depending on which sector. So we do sectorial as well, like agriculture sector, or it could be mining, it could be women in arts and crafts and creative industry. It could be women that are doing textiles and fashion, just a variety, because we cover all businesses of all women within the nation. On the left, you could see the pictures of the Sudanese women. Due to the desertification of Sudan, there's a lot of need for planting trees. So they participated in a training where they thought they can add value to the country by having a nursery, a tree planting nursery incubator. And so during that launching of that event, the Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Trade joined them to make sure that they were promoted properly. So when we do our activities, we invite high-level prime ministers and ministers to grace our events, because it's important that they promote at their level and support to show that these activities through COMESA, Federation of Women in Business, are inclusive, and also the regular partners within the society can participate and take advantage of the programs and businesses. On the bottom, you can see the Somalia chapter having an annual trade fair. They have a regular trade fairs almost every month, every week. There's different trade fairs across Somalia, but this one specifically was held and annually, and many international business partners come to Somalia to take advantage of all the activities and the business creativities. There's a lot of products being created in Somalia. Not too many people know about what happens there, but the women are the leading factor of the country. And there's a lot of projects and products that they promote and produce, and they present to us from time to time. And also during their trade fairs, as they invite us, women from the region go there. I remember last year, one of our women attended the trade fair, and she told me, when it comes to cost and quality of the product, I think I'm going to stop going to China, because these Somali women are producing the right kind of beauty products I'm looking for a much cheaper cost and a better organic quality. So I was impressed to hear this kind of feedback from a participant that went there. But there's so much that goes on to also developing the economic empowerment of the Somali women and the grassroots. Strategic priority number 2, as we mobilize the capacity of technical and financial capacity, we have specific programs from our programs, and our programs, as I said earlier, are few but impactful. And the first one that we worked on that was very impactful last year, and it's been our second year getting engaged, is a program called RECAM, which is stands for Regional Competitiveness and Access to Market Program. This is a capacity building where we provided technical assistance for 500 women SMEs in 20 member states, and 20 out of the 21, with the exception to Ethiopia at the moment, because we're still trying to structure the organization there, but all other 20 member states participated. And 20 to 30 women in every country learned how to grow their product, how to add value, and how to also learn about business financial matters, so that they internationalize their business. So they learn the basic ideas of what needs to happen for the current businesses and products they have to be able to present it to the global market. So they become traders, because to be able to trade, you must have competitive products, and you must also know what the markets are looking for. Because obviously, as you export, you're going to be competing with the existing national products, but also with other exporters just like you. So those factors had to be clear. They learned a little bit about e-commerce, but we just covered it at a basic level. Now going forward, we have 5 more modules that we'll be delivering through this activity. And the second program, which has been happening since 2012, is the Business Incubator for African Women Entrepreneurs. This program is a very extensive incubation program. It started 2012 with the pilot program with Burundi, Eswatini, Kenya, and Sudanese chapters being active. Since then, we were able to develop about 400 women in the 4 countries, and in a variety of things that they wanted, because there was a baseline survey taken in 2012, and then at 2014 the program was designed. And as we did our engagement with the member states, we found out we could not do this just from the chapter. We needed high-level technical expertise. So we linked with the national incubation programs that they had. So in Burundi, we linked with the incubator called BBIN, and we provided textile industry. So sewing machines, branding machines, all kinds of equipment was provided. About 35 women came. Of them, about 28 graduated with business plans and learned how to do proper high standard sewing and branding. And we found out that in Burundi, they didn't have a branding machine. So all the NGOs and partners that were there were getting their branding of their visibility, for example, like caps and t-shirts, when they do their visibility activities, ordering it out from Dubai and other countries. So they were able to, this BBIN project was able to replace that. So they found a lot of customers to get to do branding and also sewing of uniforms for schools, for hotels, for hospitals. So there's a lot of business they acquired, and those women are busy adding value, but also working as together to increase their economic ability. Eswatini, we provided chicken abattoir to process chicken. Just when we were ready to launch, 2020 came the COVID and stopped us, and now we are resuming, and women have already created a cooperative of 400 women to grow and rear the local organic chicken, the free-range chicken, and also local organic eggs, so to be able to feed it into the abattoir and be able to have a processed organic chicken available to the market. And the market is there. The women are getting organized, and we have about maybe a month or 2 and we'll go operational. In Kenya, we provided bakery equipment, honey processing, juice making machines, and now we are in the process of procuring sanitary pad machines. And all these are part of the KIRDI, which is a very good incubation program in Kenya. And the women, about 28, 30 women as well. No, I think in Kenya there were about 35 women who graduated from this program and were able to bring their products. And after graduation, for 2 years, they're able to use the machines for free until they can start gathering themselves up and to purchase similar machines that are needed to do the value addition. And after 2 years, they can pay a small fee and continue using the machine, and also the capacity from KIRDI programs to be able to continue to grow their products for the market. In Sudan, we linked with University of Sudan, the food processing program, and they were able to also graduate about 30 women to be able to add value to mangoes, bananas, a lot of variety of meats, and make juices and honey, beauty products, variety of products they brought. They learned how to develop the product, a certain kind of value added and packaging and branding, so that they're able to prepare for the markets. And right now they're growing even more because that training really turned on a lot of new ideas for the women, but also to make this in a quantity, because just producing few items is not good enough. You could do few items with a high quality, but if you don't have the volume, there is not much of a difference for commercial business. So we're trying to graduate all of our women from a subsistence business into a commercial business where they're able to replace imports in their countries and communities, but also to be able to make it available for exports across their borders to the continent and the different variety of players in the world that are willing to take a good quality processed goods from Africa. And then after that program, pilot program of these 4 countries, we were able to provide cassava processing plants, oil, because as you know, cooking oil right now is in high demand, and we're able to produce the oily seeds in Africa, but there is not much of processing machines. So we're providing small processing machines to do the crude oil, and we will eventually need the refinery to be able to refine packages and move it forward. And so at the moment, we are at the starting stages because this BOA program is a long, sustainable, generational kind of dream program, because we want those who come and start small, start to combine their efforts, become large, and then pass it to the next generation. So the wealth continues to build up, but also the products of the African products are made available by the Africans themselves to be able to export to other countries. So these are moving, and still we're going with maize processing plant in Eswatini, and Seychelles as a country is starting to connect with Kirdi in Kenya to be able to have an incubation program, and we will see what that's going to look like. But again, Seychelles, as you know, is a beautiful nation that was driven by the service industry, and when COVID hit, they got hit hard. Many women lost their businesses and not able to recover. The economy of the nation itself has been damaged quite big. So they're trying to see now what could be done within the grassroots with the available resources that are there, both in green economy and the blue economy, and then see if they can revive the sectors they've lost, but also what other innovative ideas are there so for the people to sustain themselves and diversify their products so they can continue. Another program we have is Fcfta. As we all know, the African Continental Free Trade Area was signed and operationalized in January 2021. And as we move to implement the programs, we are training women to champion their activities for export-import from their countries. So we have adapted a program to train 40 women in each member state with the knowledge and capacity and togetherness to add high value to their products and be competitive, but also learn what does Fcfta agreement contents are and how could they implement it within their nations. So to be able to do the business linkages across the trade, but also across the continent, because Fcfta is continental trade integration. So to be participants in this, where are women and how could they do this? So if you could see in the pictures that we have, the Seychelles program, they brought exhibitions across side by side their trade fair training. In Libya, you can see they've graduated with the recamp activity and also with the Fcfta. DR Congo, it was a workshop being held with the regional competitiveness access to market programs. On the left, you could see variety of Eswatini activities with women being able to also look into where are they now and what could be done during the COVID lockdown. It was quite hard for them to bounce back, but now they're looking into a variety of activities to make sure that the businesses continue. Then the last one is the Sokuku. So Kuku.Africa is an online platform for African businesses. It was ratified and signed by the African Union member states. It's been championed, and then we signed an MOU with them to be able to do 2 things. One, to promote women and young people businesses and products, and 2, to make sure that the African products are championed with good quality and have the logistical support and financial support to be able to transfer it across the borders, whether it be through trucks, through our shipping lines or the airlines that are within Africa right now handling cargo airlines. So we're working closely with the Ethiopian Airlines, DHL, and then at the grassroots transportation systems, there's a variety of the shipping lines and tracking lines being contacted. So this will come probably into materializing the second half of the year, this year, and then we'll see what comes out next year. But we look forward for anyone in the world to engage with our women businesses through the Sukuk platform. There are other platforms as well, but this one is the one that the African Union championed. So we will have to work because the policy allows you to do better businesses when the African Union member states adapt the platform. They're able to also support it at the grassroots level. So when you do your logistical and financial alignment, it becomes easier to deliver products and to also be able to sell products, and women can have good insurances of their activities. Strategic priority number 3 is to strengthen the development programs that we have. We do it in both at the secretariat level and at the chapters level. Secretariat level is more of a regional activity where we organize the 21 member states and 5 sub-regions. We have a sub-regional leaders, and they meet every quarter to discuss about their activities and where they can align their capacity building, their trade across their borders, or products that they share. Some of them grow it, some process it better, so they share experiences. And this just started this year, so we are at the beginning, but it's building momentum, and a lot of excitement is adding up on the ground. And then organizing we have once a year annual General Assembly. All 21 members participate, and the places rotate year after year. And so first year we did it was 2021 during the COVID, and 2020 in Malawi, 2021 in Zambia, and this year 2022 will be in Uganda, in Kampala, Uganda. And I welcome everyone to come and join us during the trade fair, because along with our General Assembly, we also host a regional trade fair and board meetings. And the board meetings, we have them quarterly, and 3 of them are virtual, and the one that's aligned with during the trade fair on our 3rd quarter is in physical. And there's 9 member states in our board, and they're elected members. Then we have monthly information sessions. These are the sessions that I mentioned earlier, Thursdays 3 to 5. Different chapters come and sign up to present. And also we have different institutions and important persons invited to share information. We also do linking and signing agreements with different relevant partners. I can tell you some examples. We've hosted First Ladies Summit in the past. We also have done championing of women projects. Variety of high-level ministers have championed women projects where they became the ambassadors of goodwill for their sector, and they brought up some financial resources, or they've helped to amend policy, for example, like procurement of public procurement for women businesses from the government, so that women get an actual access to sell to the government with the budgets in their countries, because normally they're marginalized and they don't get a chance to sell to the government. So that was some of the projects that we championed. We also have dialogues, and we get involved in, for example, there was a few years ago during Trump, there was some kind of activity where American business people were interested in investing in African businesses. So they had a big conference, so we promoted our women. African Union also have women financial inclusion dialogues. We get involved in those. We have some international women lawyers associations, and we also do a comparative analysis of policy for economic rights of women and how we can include the activities they do there. Second one with the chapters, of course, we host chapter launching events. So as our chapters become registered and formalized and institutionalized. We want them to be recognized by their own countries and by the rest of the region. So we host a launching event where a prime minister or the president of the country graces the event and recognizes the existence of the COMESA, Federation of Women in Business. So we host those of variety levels as the chapters become ready with their formal registration and also opening their bank accounts. It's a big deal because if they become formalized and acknowledged by their country's leadership, then doing business and trade activities becomes easier. We also have March 8th, of course, every year as March 8th comes, the whole March and the whole April, we use it for advocacy. And that's when most of governments and partners open up their ears to listen to what we're doing, what they could do to help us. So we use to mobilize advocacy and influence policies, invite the high-level he for she's and women that are in high-level positions. Like this year, we hosted in Malawi, the past president, Her Excellency Dr. Joyce Banda, invited past presidents of Africa, and about 5 countries came from Sierra Leone, from Central Republic Africa, from Zimbabwe, from Ghana. We had previous women who were on high-level positions, either as the past presidents of their country or vice presidents or ministers, and then different investors from a variety of places came to support the event, where we showcased what African women in COMESA region are doing. We also, because it was located in Malawi, we had a trade fair and a bazaar to show the products of the women here. They found a lot of sponsorship and business linkages and a lot of ideas to add products, and of course a lot of spirit to upgrade their businesses because they saw themselves and positioned themselves for a better performance. And of course we have other activities, variety of them, and without saying too much, we advocate against the gender-based violence in workplace and working with the UN Women or UNDP, and we also work on better nutrition for the schools, working with the World Food Program, and we also partner up with the ITC, the She Trades Program, for online classes and global business linkages. We are going to be signing next week with the CFEM as well, which is, I'm sure some of you might know. And those of you who don't know, it's International Women Business Association, where women come together and do business linkages and capacity training so they can empower themselves across the globe. We're expecting, I think, about 100 countries or so to send representatives and participate there. So we'll go there and be able to link with them as well. So there's a high level and there's globally as well that we link. And our women find all those opportunities to grow. And since COVID, I would have to say we've been doing a lot of hybrid events. So if you're capable and able to sponsor themselves, then they come and participate physically. So we send invitation. And through our chapter, with this MOU that we're signing, if you become our member and you are one of our member states, or through this MOU, if you are part of the African Women in Trade, we will send you an invitation if you're interested, and then you'll be able to come and join us in all these high-level events, especially if you're visiting in the member state or you are a member of those countries. Then we will send you time to time. You can go to our website and be able to also inform yourself and participate in the different activities we have there. The hybrid events also will send a link continuously to Madam Joy, and she will share with you the links so that when you're available, you could also participate through the virtual events. All right, the last one is to enhance the advocacy in public image and branding. For this one, if you see on the left side in Comoros, we have had our chapter chair who's sitting on the left. She was presenting the chapter to the head of state of Comoros, and also other government delegated ministers and lawmakers. At this event, after she presented this, they were able to receive a free office space within the ministry, and also our chapter chair became the representative for her nation for Comorian women in business. So ever since that day, she's been invited to go to a variety of conferences representing the activities and also promoting women activities within Comoros. They found a lot of linkages with Dubai and Far East Asia to sell their products, especially the ylang ylang products. It's very nice and used in many spas. So they were able to find a lot of markets so they can keep producing. They have 4 islands that are very active in Comoros, and each island has its own sub chapter, so that they have groupings and they work together. So, and then on the bottom, if you see on the very far left, the president of Malawi, he was able to come and look into the exhibitions that the Malawian women have exhibited. And since then, that businesswoman has really improved her quality of products and found a lot of markets. She's not even able to satisfy. Now she's growing to buy a brand new machine so that she can increase the quantity of her boabab products. Boabab oil, boabab juice, boabab lotion. She's doing all kinds of variety of boabab products and powders. And it's very healthy, and that gave her a lot of visibility while we were mobilizing for the 30% public procurement for women. And the DR Congo, you see the current president of DR Congo, he's standing with our women, recognizing the effort they did during the COVID, because all COVID lockdown was there, but our chapter chair with her team were able to rise quickly, open up a COMFWB pavilion, allowing the women a safe area, and they trained them with all the COVID regulations. They were provided them the whole PPE, so women can safely sell their products, also with good quality. So they got off of the street and they got this big, huge, unused storage house to change into almost like a grassroots supermarket where women bought fresh products and processed products, and the activities continued, because during lockdown, the ones that are most hurt are the ones on the grassroots. So when you provide an area for them to continue their businesses, then they can continue to feed their families. And the president recognized this and was able to give them $2.3 million to expand this activity. And the women came through and found a lot of productivity, and they came out better after COVID. Most of them ended up owning better businesses, and some came together and started adding value and packaging their products instead of selling it fresh and having a lot of waste, post-harvest waste. Another thing we do for high-level advocacy is, you can see in the center, Her Excellency, past President of Liberia, Dr. Elif Johnson, and the right is Dr. Dr. Amani Asfur from Egypt. They joined us during our advocacy events in passing the message and inspiring our participants, and where we were mobilizing for at least 30% public procurement for women across Africa. And at that time, only Kenya had given 30%, and now we have Eswatini, Malawi, Zimbabwe is underway, and Zambia has accepted. So 30 to 40% governments are allowing the procurement to go to women businesses. Let's see, almost there. Finally, the linkages and partnerships that we have a variety of them. We link with, as you see, with the AU SARO, or African Union Southern Region offices, European Union, UN, WFP, CFM, GIZ. We also have national NGOs and financial inclusion centers that we link at the grassroots level, where our chapters go and make good linkages so they could serve the women that are in their chapter membership. The studies and projects that we do, we have just to say, cassava has been one of the big value for your money in Africa. So we have done a situational analysis of 12 countries who are growing cassava, and at what level are they also using. Some are they use cassava as their staple meal. Others use it for products. For example, like the starch is used for pharmaceutical companies. Sometimes the powders are used for confectionaries, cookies, candy, for tomato sauce factories. The cassava is just endless. The kind of things you eat with your pancakes, the ready-made pancakes, the powder there is also cassava. So cassava is a gluten-free product that's been there for generations in our African food system, and it's gluten-free and it's very healthy with high content of nutrition. And so we're promoting that so that it's easily also grows because it's drought resistant. So you don't need that much water to grow it. And once it starts growing, it just takes care of itself, and less maintenance for the women once they get it going. So we're doing those trainings, sharing the best quality seeds so women can grow in variety parts of it. And also we're having we have a COVID-19 revolving fund underway. So after COVID-19, women were just looking for a few funds, $300, $500, just to grow their small businesses, or it was the one that was completely gone to revive it back or to build better. So we made that available to them, and they're taking advantage of it, and they're not defaulting. They're all paying back in due time. So we ran it with a very small percentage of 3% to 7%. Up to about $5,000. It's really for micro and small businesses. It's not for the large ones, but having it to run like that, processing it faster, women are able to tap into it and grow their businesses quickly, or even save it from falling apart and then be able to continue. So those are small activities we do. And finally, the headquarters. In Malawi, we have been given a 10-acre land to build our headquarters, business complex. And the member states have given feasibility study grassroots money, like a seed money, and we are just finalizing that product and be able to build the perimeter wall so we can start mobilizing resources to build our first women trade center in Africa. So it might even be the first of its kind in the world. So I welcome you all to participate and help us in mobilizing resources. And when it's built, it's also your trade center. So you will come, hopefully you will come and take advantage for your businesses yourselves and your countries as you do businesses with us. Okay, so this is where it ends. I hope it wasn't long, but I tried my best to cover as much as I can to introduce you who we are. And Madam Joyce, back to you. Thank you for allowing me to present. I will take any questions or comments that you might have.
Wow, that is quite impressive what you're doing. You're still there. Yeah, that's really impressive, the work you're doing. And even some of them I'm just seeing right now, although I did follow up quite a lot. It's quite, and I can see some members here and people who managed to join here because most of them are attending on YouTube. It's here, very interesting effort. Thank you so much there. And Sarah is also mentioning very as well, because of the information you're sharing. This information people don't have access to. And that's why I'm seeing this partnership bringing up this information that is already existing on the ground. We are able to share with our women. So if you're there or listening this later on, which I recommend highly if you have joined very late, if this is something that you should listen to it again. And this partnership is going to help us to really tap into, and I'm really excited about your trade fair. That building, I think you showed when I was in your meeting, it's unbelievable, very beautiful. And of course, we are there to support with that. And meantime, we are also looking forward to also meet you people also in person in some of the events. I know you have invited me to some of the events to actually meet the people on the ground as well, to see what it is in this partnership that we're building up here. And I'm very excited to that. We are also inviting you to the South Africa Women in Trade. This is where now a lot of exchange will be coming in. Women bringing the product, as you say, the cassava is in the market. See, someone has learned something new, and maybe they never valued so much cassava. But if they have an end-to-end, which is that's the value chain, which is always not so clear in the beginning, how to finally get it sold. And I remember when you had the big event you had just recently with Her Excellency Joyce Banda, who had organized this big, and I was like, where was I? I needed to be there in Malawi. Because it's really nice. She always also follows us as well. We work very closely with her, and also with the vice presidents in one of the programs that we ran for Africa's Women Day. We are more in the Africa's Women Day more than the 8th March, because Africa's Women Day is a day, I think we own African women from the African Union, which is also coming as well in July. We also organized that, and I'm looking forward to also having you guys on that platform as well. And so if there anyone having a question, I can see in present work, and there, Madam Ruth, I'm looking forward to joining the COMFWB in Zambia. Yes, they also they have that as well. We also have the German. So what we'll be doing, we'll be trying to synergize if there's any activities happening in any country, that's for you to understand how the MOU comes in. We're going to be exchanging in terms of if there is an activity happening in Zambia or in all the countries that they are presenting, you also be able to join, because we also have the country representative also in our platform. These are an opportunity for you people to really go and maximize these opportunities, because they're there on the ground, so it's easy to access. And the work we'll be doing is giving you a lot of information. Make sure you're registered on the Africa Women in Trade. I know some of you are, but that's why we'll be sharing a lot of this information. So I don't know if anyone has any questions in the very interesting presentation, but my question is to expand in other African countries. So they're under COMESA, and I think they're limited with the countries. Maybe that you can explain to Madam Mensa, Maria Claire.
Okay, yeah, I think with other countries, yes, definitely, because of the tripartite agreement that we have, for example, with the SADC, the Southern Region Economic Development countries, and also with the EAC. The EAC, practically, except for Tanzania, it overlaps with COMESA. So out of the 8 EAC countries, we have 7 COMESA as well. So Tanzania overlaps with us through the tripartite agreement. So yes, we're able to work with SADC and EAC countries through the tripartite agreement. And now that we've merged with the Fcfta, the whole African countries are involved. So we have a joint program. I can give you, for example, 50 Million African Women's Big Platform, which is an online informational platform for women to know, for example, if they want to go to ECOWAS countries, or if they want to go to EAC countries, what will they need, and what are the trade policies and regulations and rules across the border, the tariffs, the taxes. If you want to open your business there, what are the requirements within that country? It's available in the 50 Women African Speak platform. So you can go to womenconnect.org and you'll be able to see the variety of countries with different informations. Even if you want to go to my country like Eritrea, it sounds like a closed country, but there is information if you want to do business in 50 Million African Speak platform, because that platform is updated by the countries themselves. Someone from the Ministry of Trade in that country uploads the information of any kind of policies that you might want to know, or rules, regulations to do business in that country is available there. And then if you go to COMFWB.org, you'll be able to see the different pages of the 21 member states. And then you'll be able to link with our chapter chair. Our chapter chair will provide you all the information you need within her country. It's like having sisters in every country. They will link with you, they will host you, they will give you all the information, all the business acumen that you need to do business in that country safely and securely. Maybe suggest for you the best hotels to stay, transport, the cost of money exchange, you know, because some African countries, the money exchange is so different and so hugely gapped that you might lose your money if you just use the banking currency. But there are other money exchange institutions that might give you a better value. Or the women institutions themselves do host money exchange or currency exchange businesses that will guide you. So those informations are also available. So when you want to travel to that country, you just shoot an email and go to our website, shoot an email to our chapter chair, and she will guide you and link you with your sectorial women, and then you could do business with that. So it's there, it's available, and the whole Africa now through the Fcfta we're able to work with each other, because even in the African, the 50 million, we're seeing a lot of our women from the Western African country like Nigeria. They participate a lot in of our events or even these online programs we have. Plus, like the International Trade Center, the ITC She Trades program, it does serve the whole Africa. And when we do programs there, we see a lot of Western African countries, French-speaking, Arabic-speaking, and English-speaking countries participating in our events. So yes, you are welcome to join us in variety of, it just depends what are you looking for and when can we do this. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, I think you did quite extensively. Sorry about my background noises. Yes, it's very informative. As you said, you can visit their website, maybe you can write that on the chat so that they can go and check it there. For that they can have, and the 50 million women, did you say that? In the under AFCFT, that would be also interesting for the women to go have a look at that. And women connect as well. So that's, I hope you have been answered there. So what? Yeah, so that is the link that has been offered there. You can check on it and follow it up. I didn't understand the other question you're trying to ask as well. So okay. You have to make time. Nothing is for free in this time. I think if I understand your question in terms of time swindled, or my experience, it's easy to get swindled or your time wasted. So it's better to take your time, and nothing. I mean, having had so many working with projects in Africa, you have to have a lot of patience, right? Patience it's number one, and also being linked up, because everybody we bring here on Africa Women in Trade, these are official organizations, so they're existing. They're not swindled organizations as per se. We bring those people, you get advantage and take advantage of the information. As I said, the information is a very difficult thing to get on the ground. So if I were you, I would just go look at the information, and you can see you're getting direct information from the lion's from the lion's mouth, or from the people themselves. So that you shouldn't be finding yourself lost. But in any case, if you really want direct contact, write to us as well, Africa Women in Trade at gmail.com, and I will write it there as well, so that if you have any specific question or any direction you want, it's easier to also find out exactly you want, because also be very specific. Because that's something else. Don't be too diverse, because issues are dealt specifically. If you know exactly what you want, it's easier to help, so that you can direct it to the right channels. And as I said, these are starting, and we are looking forward to learning a lot more. So we'll be exchanging information from our side to their side as well, and the other way around, so that you can benefit. We have already, last year, we shared with you a lot of trade fairs that were happening, where you can showcase your product, because market access is one of the things that we are working very hard as women in trade, to make sure that you have these places that you're going to get connected with the right people who would want to buy your product in different countries. So it's up to you to make the step. And sometimes we get good offers. I know the exhibitions are never free, but sometimes you get a good deal so that you can be able to showcase your product. And last year we did have a few people who really took advantage of that, especially when they're in your country, which is makes it much easier to showcase your product than in another country. But the good thing is that everybody comes from outside and they're interested in the product, you're able to follow up. And that's what we'll also be doing in South Africa in October. We'll be showcasing product. Most of the people probably they'll be from South Africa, but we encourage everybody else to come in and see what products you can start negotiating or see what are possibilities of trade between different countries, and what also to learn from South Africa. Why are they one of the country that it's easier to trade, and what makes it possible for, and which products? And this is the thing, because what we've realized, I don't know about you, Ruth, as well, is that people are not targeted when they are looking for the products. Yeah, it's like now you said cassava, so people, I know not everybody should go for cassava. There's so many other products out there. But you have to do design thinking, what is needed. And I like the way she said, Madam Ruth said that they talk to members and find out what are their needs, right? And also look at the markets. What are the markets looking for, right? Even within your area, it's all about selling. And we're trying to get out from aid and go trading, because when you sell, that's when you get the money to make sure that you survive in your business. So aid doesn't work well with trade. So you need to do business. You need to sell. And that's the opportunity we are creating here on both networks. And we are here to complement each other as well. Very, very important that we synergize the energies. Probably one time we'll be having a one expo together, in Malawi. Who knows, in the new building. So there is quite a lot of opportunities outside there for all of us. So I want to thank you so much. Unless you have any partner, I don't see any other question. A lot of compliments. Thank you, ladies. Yes, today it was, we didn't want to make it, but this meeting was supposed to be on Sunday. And unfortunately, due to technology issue, we were not able to do it. So we squeezed it during 1 hour today. And I'm sure most of you will follow it up on YouTube as well, because it's recorded if you want to listen to this again. And I want to thank you so much.
Can I suggest one more thing, Madam Joy?
Yes.
Is it okay? Okay. I think if your members are interested to link up with our women, because our women are on the grassroots, they're real. They're looking for partners in Europe to either send their products or learn from them so that they produce and link properly. And we understand the standards in Europe are very high, and that's what we aim for, because we believe that if we sell it in Europe, then we're able to sell it anywhere else in the world, as the standards being so high. And so if I can suggest that if there is interest at that level, either as investors or as traders, to write you a statement or a letter, specifically which country, which product are they interested in, and then give us a timeline of when they want to link, whether link virtually or if they have finances and they're traveling to those African countries and within COMESA, to even ask us which country they want to go to. Then between you and I, we can arrange, and I will give you the connection with that specific chapter chair. Within that sector, they have sectorial leaders. So those women will connect those women to because to me, it's all in the practicality and the result-driven part of our core values. And so it's very important to talk reality. But I agree with the comments made earlier. This online things, they get you round and round and you get nothing. But if you really want to work with the real people on the ground, then you got to take the kind of practical actions to be able to determine what you want. So first know what you want and which country, which product, and then link and then start doing business, because the market is there. Our products in Africa are highly needed in everywhere in the world. And the women, they never get the chance, never. So this relationship we have with African women in trade, if we can open that window to just be able to promote their products, then that's fantastic. Or even share experiences of what are the women in the trade in the European countries are doing in the markets there. And then our women can learn from here and maybe increase the products that they're doing. So we decrease the imports from there. to Africa, and then Africa is able to rise up with what we're doing here. At the same time, you'll find cheap value for what we do in growing your business in Europe. So you can purchase from us with a value added. So let me end there. And unless there are any questions or comments, I'm done from my part. I thank you very much. Oh, you are muted, my dear.
Yes, I see a lot of
Thank you.
people wanting to get into on board. Definitely, we are here to support that. And the best way to do it, of course, as I said, check on their website, follow which country you are, because they are all over. As you had a lot of countries included there and chapters, and we'll be linking up also our chapters with your chapters, because we have actually very similar things as I went through. We also have every month webinar showcasing products the same way you also do, and also here in the diaspora, we're also trying to link up these businesses, as I was trying to invite you also to come to the Holland investment. There's so many things here, but it's connecting there is a market, and there is a products. How do we connect them? And that's where I think AWT and your organization come in to make sure this linkage happens. And we're excited to that. So thank you so much for your time. I'm really happy about this, and looking forward to really our first meetup as well in person, Virtual time is over, but I have to say virtual time was the best time for Africa women in Europe, because it managed to form the Africa Women in Trade. Otherwise, I would not have connected with most of you based here in Germany. That's easy. So I'm really excited about that. We really made it to meet here, and we cannot underestimate virtual, and it's not going anywhere, guys. So I think you better get this. I think our African way we want to see and touch, but the thing is that the businesses, you need to see the product. So you need to be at the expos. So I'm welcoming you all again. Don't forget 20th to 22nd, so we're doing the trade fair in South Africa, to meet you finally in person. So I've already started. I'm waiting for the weather and everything else, no COVID. Please, God is going to help us to make sure that we meet finally. And I'm excited to that, Ruth. I'm also looking forward to meeting you more and more in different occasions as well. So thank you so much as well. And let's connect again. And those of you who are listening now, we are still having the country webinars coming up. I think Zambia is coming up, and I can see someone mentioned more in there. We also have Zambia coming up as well in this month, as well as South Africa just finished the presentation. Watch their YouTube channel. They did have a presentation done there, how you can also benefit with it when you're going there. And they also talked about the summit, the expos and conference that is happening. And Kenya also had a very good discussion about how the banking system that is needed between when you're trading as a security. So that was a very good discussion. Didn't limit only Kenya. Have a look at it. It's also expanded to other countries, because when you're trading, you need a lot of certificates and linkages, especially when there's money movement and products as well. So check out on that as well. And Cameroon did a virtual webinar just last month. So we'll be having this every other 3 months according to the availability of the chapters and topics as well. So thank you so much, Ruth. And so I'll be looking forward to the next webinar. Share with us as soon as you are able to. I know you have your calendars. We said we're going to exchange the calendars to give out all these dates that I'm also sharing here, so that we are all connected as well. So I want to wish you, everybody else, a good evening and afternoon, wherever you are. Here is going to midday, past midday. So we're excited to embrace the warmth. Summer is coming. So thank you so much, and have a good day. For those people on YouTube, you're welcome.